let us continue. Yesterday evening I made this little area here, and the stitch, I don't think it has a particular name, but again it's the feather stitch, but you can see here in the middle there is a little extra twig, so I think I will call it feather stitches with twigs, and if anybody know it by another name, please let me know, but I will show you how I do them, and then I will make, oh, and here is a knot here on my thread here, and I don't like that. Yeah, I like a knot at the end of my thread, but I will start doing it them there. But if I should draw it, it is, you come up here and you go down here, and then you come up here like you normally do, and then you go out there. But instead of that, you close it there and you go up here and stitch down and come up here again, so that gives the extra twig there in the middle. So that's another variation. So far we have been doing single, double with the extra little loop on here, or extra little fly stitch or feather stitch on there, and here they are triple. So now it's the fifth variation, and let us see if, I don't think I can come up with 8 different, but let us see. So I'll just come up here in the middle of the slice, of the pizza slice or cake slice, up with my sleeves here, and I'll come a little further down. So here we go, up and down and up, and normally I would have gone out there and up, but instead I'm just going under the bow and up here, and I won't go out of the circle or of the circumference, so it would be a smaller twig there. So that is the way. So now I will just go out here, there, down in the same hole here, and up, and that is the first. Yeah, it's like fly stitches, but it's feather stitches here. And then I go opposite, from down and up in the same way where the thread is. No, I don't. I go down here where the thread is, just under the curved line here, and then I go up a little higher than the 2 other legs there, and down in the same. Just a moment, I will just remove my, whoops, sorry for giving you a roller coaster trip here. So there they are. Yeah, the normal feather stitch, and out there and into the loop. Yeah, just under the thread, and come up a little higher for the extra twig, and go down here, and you go out here, there, and you come down here in the same place, come up there, just under the thread, and come up a little higher for the twig, for the extra twig, and down here, there. That is all I will be doing, so they end up looking like this. So I will do exactly the same all the way down here and fill the area out, and then it would end up looking like this. And you can see there are places where I think I could see too much fabric, so I just give it some extra stitches, but so the background fabric is filled out, most of it. So I will just continue with that. It's not a stitch I have been using very much, but it's always nice to learn something new. So both area with the feather stitch with an extra trick is done, and now I have started up here to see if I could do it. And this is called the mermaid stitch, but in fact it is like the feather stitch. But the tricky part about this is that there is 3 legs and the legs are in the same height. So you can see this is small and this is a little bigger and this is the biggest one, but they are made. I tried to draw it here so you can see these 3 end up the same line and at the same line and at the same line here. But else they are done exactly like feather stitches are. But these have to be at the same height or the same level. And it looks like the fabric is crumbling a little more together with these stitches, but in compared to the other stitches, so I will have to be a little more careful. So but I can just quickly show you here. There. I've just come up like I used to, and then I do exactly as I do at the beginning. I came up in the same height there, like that, and into the loop, and that was the first one. And the second one, I'm going down in the same level as this leg here, and come up a little further down. That was the third, and the second leg, and now for the third, I go down in the same height as these 2 other here, and come up here, there, and then you have the first 3 legs, like these 3 legs there, and then you just go to the other side again, come up here, and come up a little further down here, and that is depending where you come up, you can curve or make straight lines. So again, I will go down in the same height as this previous little leg is, and come up here a little down under, come up in the loop there, go down in the same height here, make a loop, come up a little under here and into the loop, and there. That is called the mermaid stitch, and it is in exactly the same family as the other ones is. And I think perhaps it is, yeah, now I've done it and I will continue, but I think I will have to make some single, like this little area, or the 3 first stitches there, to cover some of the fabric up, so that it will be as near as I can to this. But this area I will do that, and the same area here. And I think in the last 2 areas I will just make single. In one of them I will just make single feather stitches, and perhaps in the last one I could try maybe only to do them lift, or a line right, so instead of lift, right. But I can better see that when I have done these 2 areas here. but that would be doing it like exactly like I've had done there. So there's nothing new in that. So this is the color I'm using there, and then I have 2 more yellows I will use for the last areas. So I will stitch a little further and perhaps show you some clips away along the line here. Yesterday I finished up this piece here with the 16 small areas or slices, 8 different colors and 8 different versions of the feather stitch. And I shall take close-ups at the end of the video, but I think it turned out very lovely and I'm very pleased with it. Then when I was finished yesterday, I just put some needles in, stretched it out, and put some small needles in. Here it's a felt substrate I have, and I put a heavy thing over it, so now it is lying totally flat. And if you have sewed it in a hoop, you probably won't have any buckles, but mine is pretty flat right now. I know I can see some of the pencil lines, but that doesn't bother me. So if you don't want that, take a very light and don't push too hard pencil, or use one of these pens that will disappear by itself, or if you put heat or water on it. Yeah, it is what it is now, and it doesn't bother my eye very much, and I don't want to do anything more here in the circumference. The running sorry, the running stitch is okay with no, I don't need it doubled or wiped or anything else. So this was July's piece. So now I will just remove my small applique pins here, and they are in fact very nice to use, not specifically for this, but if you are doing something where you have to pin something down, then you don't get pinched by long needles or anything else here when you use these small needles here. So I will just move it for a second, and then I will find, let me see here, the next, yeah, it's the other way around here. Where is my last page? It is here, and I nearly am in frame. I think I just would go up a little higher. And here is my next page. And then I want to place this, and do I want what side, up and down? You can decide that's what you want, but I think, and I'll try to match up so I have the same amount of space all the way around here. Perhaps a little closer there, but that's okay. Again, I have my wallpaper paste here, and I just mixed some a new portion of it, because the other one was nearly over a half year old, and then it got, yeah, it is like it is when it gets too old. It can get smelly, but it can also get runny, and it has to have a certain consistency. And you can say, why on earth are you using wallpaper paste? You can use much other things. So you can use your glue stick or double-sided tape or some other glues. But I like to use wallpaper paste here in this case, because right now they are sitting in my book here. And the smart thing about using wallpaper paste is, you can see here it is so easy. Can I tear it off, and you won't damage the paper or damage the fabric. So now I will just give it a little here again and squeeze it down. And don't make your wallpaper paste so runny. The more runny your glue is, the more your pages will buckle, and that's the nature of the viscosity. The more viscosity there is, the more runny things are, the more things will buckle. So I don't do something very fancy here. I just place my hand here. Look, am I satisfied with the position of it? Yes, I am. Place my hand here, take my brush, and then I just brush this wallpaper paste out here. And of course, you have to have a certain amount, but don't put so much on so you have a big fat layer. Then you can, as the wrist, it will seep up through your fabric. So something like this here, I think is okay. Yeah. There. And then I will just sweep this down and use my hands to squeeze it down. And then I will do exactly the same thing here, just the opposite way. I can come a little up perhaps here. One thing that is also a nice thing about using wallpaper paste is you don't ruin your brushes with it. If you use matte medium or some other heavy kinds of glues, you very easily ruin your brushes, or the bristles and that metal thing there, they can get totally stiff and you can't get the glue out. So there are several good ways, good things about using wallpaper paste. Here, another thing is it is very cheap. It doesn't cost very much. That is of course also nice. So down with this also, and just squeeze it here. And you can always give it a little more in the corners if you want to. I have this here I can use for squeezing. So now this just has to dry. You can see here, I can perhaps give it a little dab here in the corner. That is okay, and that is okay. That is really not much. So I will let this dry, and then I can take some close-ups and a photo for my social medias when we reach that point, and then I can say a proper goodbye to you. I forgot to say, I just put the lid off and push the air out, and then I put it in a plastic bag and make a knot here. And it is summertime here in Denmark right now, so instead of just keeping it like this, you can put it in your refrigerator if you live at a hot place right now. But that is all I do, and it will probably be last for the rest of the year, or if not, I can make a small portion of it. A portion, not potion. Potion is dangerous. Portion. I don't know why I always say it wrong, but yeah. Before I leave you here this month, I also want to thank those of you who has been supporting me on my Ko-fi account. I'm very, very happy about that, and it's so generous of you, and I'm really, really appreciate it. And yeah, I know it can be difficult for others to use money on such things in these times right now, where everything is being so expensive, and we all are thinking about what we use our money for. But thank you from the bottom of my heart to you who has been supporting me. And also I would like to say it is a feast to look at all the embroideries in the Facebook group. Holy smoke, or holy Moses, or what you say in your country. So many, many lovely, lovely embroideries. And this year, because the color schemes are in all directions, it's a rainbow big bang every time I go down in the albums and look at all the embroideries. So if you're a member of the Facebook group, go down and check and look there sometimes. It's such a pleasure to look at all these embroideries. So I don't think I want to say so much more right now, but of course I would put all the Dogma rules here under the video so you can read them quietly instead of me just babbling along here. But else I hope you have been inspired, and I hope you have learned some new versions of the feather stitch, and perhaps you can use it in some of your other works or in other things you are doing. That is also very fine. And please enjoy this project, and don't rush. You have a whole month to do it. It isn't about doing it much smaller or get done in a hurry. Yes, of course it depends on your life, but try to make it the way I said it in the rules, and enjoy the stitching instead of just get through it and hurry up. It should be a joyful thing to do with this challenge here this year here. So else I just want to say I hope you have been inspired, and I hope you have found this video helpful here with this challenge. And if you have, please give my video a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing my little Danish channel. I would appreciate that very much. You can also hit the notification bell so you will get a notification every time I'm putting a new video up. And also, please give me a comment. I'll really like to be in touch with those of you who are following along here. And the last thing I want to say is, some of you are not on social medias, and that is totally understandable. But then I have no idea of who and when and how many or how many I will never find out. But that is why I have opened up the community tab, and you can find that on, if you're on a PC or on your phones. My old tablet, you can't find it. It's not open there. But there you can show your pictures and tell me so I can see what you're doing. If you only are, not only, but if you are on YouTube and not on other social medias. And that would give me a great pleasure also to see those of you who are on YouTube, what you are doing. That was just a little bit and a wish from my side. So else I will just say, please stay playful and creative, and please take care of yourself and people around you, and not but least of all, please be nice to everybody. So enough from me here now. See you again soon, or at least perhaps next month for another thing, and I have no idea what that would be, but it would come to me, I'm sure. So bye for now. Hej, farvel.